Hubert, you guys were able to get to the rim quite a bit in the first half. It seemed like whatever adjustments Miami made on those ball screens kind of turned you into a jump shooting team in the second half. Is that?
I mean, I would say that's accurate. You know, in the first half, we were able to get to the basket. You know, we tried to get the ball to Armando a little bit more in the first half, but you know, it felt good because we were still attacking the basket and getting points in the paint. In the second half, we tried to do that, and they just did a better job of closing down that paint. The only way that you could open that up is to make some perimeter jump shots, and we just weren't able to do it. And you know, we had a number of good looks out there, and you know, on Saturday we were able to make some of those, and you know, tonight we weren't able to do it.
Was it just a matter of not making the shots? Because 6 assists on 29 baskets.
No, I mean it definitely was more than that. To just being able to shoot the basketball. I didn't think we had an answer for Jordan Miller. We just didn't. He dominated us on the offensive glass, in transition, in the post, dribble drive to the basket, on the perimeter. We just didn't have anybody that could slow him down. And Nigel Pack, you know, got hot from three and was able to hit some threes at the latter part of the first half and the beginning of the second half. You know, but it was a number of things. It was our inability to get to the basket, our inability to be able to shoot the ball from the outside. They had a number of help side defenders in the lane, so it was very difficult to get the ball to Armando. And you know, defensively, we just weren't able to come up with the stops that we needed to be able to withstand that stretch where we weren't scoring very efficiently.
What do you have to do to kind of alleviate some of that issue of the way teams are defending Armando more and more because they can cheat a guy off of somebody else?
Yeah, you know, there's a number of things that we can do, and that's something that I'm going to look at and have to tweak and pivot and alter and change, because you know, going into a game, you know, Armando was so dominant down low in the post, he's not going to get an opportunity to just catch the ball down there one-on-one and be able to go to work. And so we have to find other ways or find other players out there on the floor. Another problem for us against Miami is, you know, you can possibly put more shooting out there, but you know, it just didn't match up, you know, with their athleticism on the defensive end. And so there's two parts to it, you know, and so we'll take a look at it this week and see if we can make some tweaks and pivots and alters and changes before we play NC State on Sunday.
It seemed like you guys were able to kind of get the weight off their shoulders, even went as far to kind of have like a visual metaphor with it in practice. Just talking to the guys, they were kind of talking about the NCAA tournament, the pressure. I mean, does it seem like that weight is just right back on them now?
I wouldn't say that. I would say that they're upset that we lost a game tonight. I wouldn't take it there. I mean, it's, you know, we have a game against NC State on Sunday, and we play Notre Dame, and then we play Virginia, and then we play Florida State, and then we close out the regular season with Duke at home. And so, you know, we're excited about our effort on Saturday against a really good Clemson team, and we're excited about the challenge of playing against Miami on our home floor tonight. And at the end of the day, we just weren't good enough.
Hubert, Armando told us that he felt just kind of blank after the game. He didn't really know what to think. How do you talk to a team that's feeling like that and build them back up for the next game at NC State?
Well, I mean, they're disappointed. You know, or that we didn't win. I mean, that's a normal reaction from any player or any coach. And how do you respond, or how do you move forward? You get back up and go to work and compete and put yourself in a position to be able to compete to the best of your ability in the next game. And so we weren't good enough to beat Miami tonight. It is what it is. And so let's go back to work and let's see if we can get better this week and put ourselves in a position to play against a really good NC State team on their home floor.
Did you see that fight and competitive nature tonight that you want from your team?
Most of the time I did. In the first half, one of the things that we did talk about is that, they're a really good offensive rebounding team, and so they got, I think they got in the first half, they had 11 points on second chance opportunities, and so, we were down by 1 at half, and we had given them 11 points off of second chance, off of offensive rebounds, and we were 111 from 3, and so I felt like we were in a good position to say, and I thought we did a good job of taking care of the basketball in large part. And so, I felt like going into the second half, I felt good where we were. We just didn't come out, at the beginning of the second half, they hit us with a nice stretch from an offensive standpoint, and we just couldn't recover from that.
Hubert, you mentioned you got some good looks on threes. Did you generally feel okay with the shots you were getting from 3?
Yeah, I did. The 31 threes that we shot tonight are misleading because, towards the end, you're just trying to close the gap. And so, but for the most part, I was happy with the threes that we took. At the end of the day, what they were doing was, we were trying to throw the ball to Armando. Every defender on the weak side was in the middle of the lane with Armando, so the only thing you could do was skip it, knock down the 3. One of the things that we talk about is even after you skip it, it's a long closeout, so you don't have to shoot the basketball. You can pump fake, put the ball on the floor, and try to attack, and we tried to do that as well, but we just didn't shoot the ball well.
Take a couple more. Hang on. Take a couple more. Thank you.
Is Pete's back maybe affecting him a little bit more than he thought, or is he just in a shooting slump right now?
Pete has communicated to me that he feels 100%.
You mentioned wanting to go back to the drawing board and continue to tweak and pivot and try and find ways to improve the offense. When the teams are sagging off Armando and they're just packing in Armando, how many realistic tweaks and pivots are there left if they're going to play him that way?
Well, there's a number of different ways. There's, different ways where we can get the ball to him at, different parts of the floor. There's, try some different personnel. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to be able to make some shots. And, it is what it is. I don't know if we are still, but I think before the Clemson game, I know, but I don't know before this game, percentage-wise, we were the worst three-point shooting team in the ACC. So that's never a good thing. And so,
Last 2 right here on the front.
Coach, do you think the quick turnaround had an impact on your fatigue performance?
not at all. Not at all. Played at 2 o'clock on Saturday, and it's like the NCAA tournament. So they're 18, 19 years old. I felt fine.
Last one, Alan.
Hubert, is the streakiness of this team one of the things that has just sort of perplexed you all season? I don't know if streakiness is the right word, but they can get hot and they can get cold.
Well, in parts of our game as a team, there is inconsistency. And so, you're right. There's inconsistency in terms of obviously shooting the ball from the outside. There's been inconsistencies in terms of, staying on script and doing the discipline and the details, the little things that allow you to put yourself in a position to be successful. And so, and those are things that, you just have to fix, in order to be successful. I think there's one, you've got to be good. then I think number two is you gotta be consistent, whether it's an individual player or as a team. Those are two traits those are two boxes that you have to check, you know, and, consistency at times has been an issue for us this year.
And if you're not consistent, you're not good then, I guess.
Well, it depends on the opponent that you play. You know, when you're playing against a really good team like Miami,
Right.
you have to be good and consistent. And we weren't that tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
Hey,